It's the return of Hawkeye's Custom Corner. It's getting warm in some areas, so outdoor events are picking up, and the new Builders Tribe Forum is in full swing. That, your questions, and a whole lot more coming right up. What's up? What's going on, people? Man, another episode of the Builders Tribe Tuesday Fireside Chat coming at you, and I'm glad to be here. We had a couple of weeks off. I hope everybody had a good Sweethearts Day last week. Whoo, a lot has happened in the last week. We hope to cover some of it. Man, I tell you what, things are just going bonkers. We had another shooting, mass shooting. I think was it Michigan? And it just, things are just getting horrible, man. I don't know what to say, but anyway, we're here and we can pray for the best. So let's take care of some housekeeping. I mean, it feels like I've kind of lost my swing of things. It's been a couple of weeks, but all right, let's get started. Before we get started, if you're new to the channel, if you are watching for the first time, or if you're watching on replay, welcome. Thank you for watching, because there are so many things you could be doing at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night. We thank you for being here, or whenever you're watching, you could be doing something else, but you're taking the time to watch us and get a little bit of information and hopefully learn something during our conversation. It's going to be a pretty good conversation tonight, because we have Mr. Hawkeye coming with Hawkeye's Custom Corner, and he's going to do part 2 of Stippling for newbies like him. So it should be interesting. He's a wealth of information, so I'm sure he's going to be bringing it. If you are new and you are watching live and you have questions, please get in the chat. We have the usual suspects in the chat, the tribal council in the chat, and they're more than happy to answer your questions. If you have questions for us, anybody that's on screen, please preface your question in the chat with 4 question marks. That way we know that you are talking to us and we can not miss your question, and we can address it as soon as possible. We'll probably address it actually while we're on screen. So we break into conversations right in the middle of other conversations. So that's just how we roll here. We keep it very loose. We keep it very fast. And if we bypass something that you want to talk about, just let us know. Next up, we have well, you know what, before I go into all of that, let me bring on my dude, my man, my partner, Mr. Weapon XYZ. What's going on, Weapon?
What up, y'all?
You look green with envy right now, dude. What's going on? What you got the guns out for today, man? I know you got the
every day, all day.
You got the COD shirt on, but you bringing the guns out. What's that about, dude?
I'm hitting the gym a lot, dude.
Oh, so you got to show off the guns because you hitting the gym.
That's right, man. You didn't even send me money for tickets. Y'all, everybody here, sir. Y'all owe me $5 for tickets.
Okay. We're gonna see how that goes. But anyway, I'm not sure if Mr. Nas is going to join us tonight, but you know what? If he doesn't, he's here in spirit, and we appreciate that. He does a lot behind the scenes, and he's done a lot on what we're about to talk about just briefly. And if you see my screen flickering, it's good old Cox up to its old business again. My internet decides to go in and out once again. We had gotten good. It had gotten to a point where I wasn't so max headroom-ish, but it seems like the last couple of times it's been crazy right around this time. So I guess everybody's home on their computer doing something, which causes my internet to drag. But with that being said, let me give me 1 second, because I did have something specific I wanted to talk to you guys about. Oh, the Builders Tribe Forum. I don't know how many of you have been on there. I hope you all have made it over there, because the old FTQ 80 forum has ceased to exist at this point. They gave us an extra 6 days, I believe, because up until yesterday it was on. And then yesterday Ancient Order hit us up and said it's gone. Yeah. So and I'm not sure where Mr. Hawkeye is. He's in the chat, so he must be getting ready to come on and join us. Matter of fact, Weapon, just in case he doesn't have the right link, can you post it in the forum for me, please?
Yeah, let me just pop that up real quick here. I just got to get up.
And anybody else, if you want to join us live tonight, whether it's on video or audio only, all you have to do is click the link he's about to put in the chat and join us. We'd love to have you, as always. I mean, we've been saying that for over a year now. We're hoping that someone other than Hawkeye takes us up on it at some point, but that's okay. We've had a couple of drop-ins.
We've even had some attempts.
Yeah, we've had some attempts. Yep. It's kind of hard doing it sometimes because if you guys have the show playing in the background, like we normally do, but we know to turn our sound down at this point. But if you have the show playing in the background, you have to turn that sound down or you'll have constant feedback.
Yep, just mute it.
Yeah, just mute it. You can watch yourself.
If you're streaming on a laptop, it's right next to your play and pause button. There'll be a little, your typical speaker button or audio button.
See, he's the pro. Symbol. He's the pro at that. That's why I eat. Did I get any water? I didn't even get any water, and I got the freaking hiccups. As you can see, my phone just went off because it's saying that we are now live, but I just turned it on, so there's
coffee for me tonight, man.
I need some water.
That's a rarity. It's a rarity. Any of you guys will see me drink coffee past like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. Never.
All right. Well, let's tell you what. Let's get the roll call going. Before I get more into the site, let's get the roll call going. Who we got watching tonight? Who we got in the?
We got Hawkeye, of course.
Hawkeye
in the house. With Darth Dav in the house.
Darth Dav, what's going on, my buddy? Oh,
Mr. Vino.
Mr. Vino, what's going on, fellas?
Chris Bennett.
Chris, good to see you again, man. Been a minute.
M. Adams.
Matt, what's going on, my friend?
We got Mr. Nico Bernie.
Mr. Bernie, what's going on,
Ed Levance.
Ed. Nolan.
That's a new name.
That's a new name. What's going on?
What's up, man?
Welcome. If that's your government name and we know you by another name, please let us know in the chat. If not, absolutely welcome. Glad you're here. We have Hawkeye. You are not backstage, my friend. You must be on my channel. You must be on the the other channel. Hawkeye,
come
over and join us.
That reminds me, what channel am I watching us on right now?
Well, either way, if he was backstage, he would still be backstage with us. So
I know.
What? I don't know. Hawkeye. He just texted me, said he's backstage. I don't see him. Do you? Anyway, while we're waiting for Hawkeye to come to the right channel, even though he should still be here. If we're broadcasting on both channels, which we are not, he should still be here with us. So maybe he's having technical difficulties. He texted us. He sent the message right at 10 o'clock. And he said, ready for the show. So I don't know where he is right now. But anyway, since we're waiting on him, I see, let's see, Darth Dav. I see Mr. Vino. I see Matt Adams. I see Ed Levance. And
let me try to. Hey,
Ram,
do you want to check the Google Doc and just make sure that the right link is posted, just in case?
Just in case. Should be. I will check the Google Doc. Give me 1 second.
I suppose there's an invite button here. Oh no, that's invite to the. Never mind.
Invite guest. StreamYard.com. Copy.
Oh, here, I've got a new guest one. Hold up. I've got a new link. Let me just do that.
I just posted it. Is that the one you got?
Ends in CT, I think.
That's not the one I got. Okay. Did I post the wrong one?
Let's find out. I'll just post this one too. We'll just get a little doubled up action.
Tell you what.
Yeah, mine is completely different. My link looks different anyways.
Hold on. I
just pulled that one right from our invite with inside of StreamYard.
Okay, you went on the other screen and pulled.
Yeah, I went right into our StreamYard. No, I went right into our StreamYard. Down in the thing, there's an invite button.
And does it look like the one I've just posted?
Nah, it ends a little differently.
Then you might want to post it.
Yep, I just posted the new one.
No, you didn't. Yeah, well, it didn't come up on this end. I'll say that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see nothing popping up either. Let's go. Gotta love tech, right?
Yes, it's lovely, lovely, lovely. Hey, while we're waiting, guys, if you don't mind, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, and because the algorithm definitely won't push this out unless we get some thumbs up action going.
Here's the new link. Try this one.
Smash that thumbs up, guys. Okay, so
try this one, Hawkeye, if that one wasn't working correctly. This one should get you in here.
We have to give that dude some access. Direct access. All right, guys. So it looks like all of you are here. We are missing 2 people, I think. So we got Hawkeye in here. We got Ed Levant. We have Matt Adams. We have Mr. Vino, Darth Dav. So we are missing Sailman, Blade Boy, and there was an 8th guy. There was somebody 8th. There was an 8th person. Can't remember. Anyway, guys, you all should have your items, at least according to there's Mr. Hawkeye. According to tracking, you all got packages last week. You're welcome. I hope you guys are going to put that stuff to good use. These guys, everybody that I named, and all of you are very valued members, and they won a few things. We're going to do some drawings tonight, guys, because somehow, in the switch of everything, a few people got left off the list because there should have been a couple of other things we could have drawn last week or 2 weeks ago. So I have everybody's name now. And if you were in the forum, you know that I didn't close anything out. So you still had time to get in on anything. So you are definitely welcome, Mr. Matt. I hope all of that stuff is to your liking. And guys, just know that if you're getting something from me, I'm going to try and put extra stuff in. I don't even remember what I put in everybody's. I just know I put a little something extra in everyone because you guys are all winners as far as I'm concerned. I think we gave everybody a medallion, and if you needed something and you were on a list to win something and you were the only one on the list, you should have gotten that item. So, guys, we have stuff that people need. So if you got something you need, let us know. If we have it in our giveaways, we've been our members are very generous. They've donated a lot of parts. So if you are in need of something, go into the BST of the new forum, and the new forum link is, what's the new forum link, dude? Oh, there we go. builderstribe.org. I think last time we were on. Let me bring Hawkeye on. Hawkeye, there you are. Fine, sir.
Hey, guys. My fellow builders.
I think the last time that we did the broadcast, we didn't have the Builders Tribe link yet. And I think an hour after we went offline, I made sure it got done. So we are in full swing. We're uploading things. And since we're talking about the forum, Yeah, nice back plate. Yes, you're welcome, Ed. Everybody should have got a back plate for the say. Oh, we're gonna talk about that in a second, Hawkeye. We're gonna talk about that in a second, Hawkeye. Bringing the heat early. Bringing the heat early. Hawkeye. That's just one of the things, and if you guys missed it, we're gonna talk about that in one quick second. But I want to give this man his due because he spent days. When I tell you days, he spent days putting up a lot of the necessary links or the necessary conversations from the old site. I mean, if you haven't been in there, go look. You'll see Hawkeye's name everywhere because he took everything. He took his time, from his projects, from his wife, his family, and he devoted a lot of time to transferring the relevant files from the old site. So thank you. Copy and paste, man. That takes time. You have no idea. He did hundreds of posts and comments, and
after a while you get in a rhythm of copy and paste.
Oh, hell yeah.
Copy and paste.
He killed it. I'm telling you, man. I don't know if I would have been able to do what he did. So I just wanted to definitely give him that thumbs up. Jinx for everything, and thank you, Hawkeye, for the rails. Yeah. He got a pair of Hawkeye's custom rails in his package.
I wouldn't call it custom. I just made them fit.
Modified rails. Yeah, modified, ready to drop in and go. So that and for those of you who don't know, who may have been lucky enough to get some rails you haven't had to modify, it takes a lot of work getting it right.
Yeah,
because
when they first came out, especially those black ones, shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, those were terrible.
And you had to be careful about it because you had to take off equal amounts on each side to get them to drop in, or they'd be crooked and your slide would not function smooth.
Yeah,
it was a pain.
Yeah, it's nuts. So if you're able to get your hands on, especially this man here, and how meticulous he is about making sure it's right, and I tell you, Darth Dad, he was the only one that wanted them. Yeah. Guys, I don't know what you know what it is. A lot of people have the new ones, or they've bought Rook. So I can understand, you may not.
That's what replaced most of those was Rook.
Yeah. And guys, if you're doing 3D prints, if you aspire to do 3D prints, having these in your pocket, if you think you might do 3D prints, let me know. I'll send them to you. Because they're going to be perfect.
Yeah.
So
what I like, I always take the parts given and I make them work, and then I start swapping them out. That way, you know what works and what don't work, and you're troubleshooting. It's just one step back and not in a bunch of trouble trying to figure out this one's messing with this one and this one's messing with that one. Do it one at a time, and it works.
Speaking of the form, I'm going to pop this up in there just because it was brought up there a minute ago. Booyah. All right, continue, Hawkeye. Continue, get set.
All right, that was it. You want to talk about the sticker?
Oh, yeah. Look at dude. Hawkeye has produced a new Builders Tribe logo for our shirts. And if you're not looking, hold on, Hawkeye. Hold on. Put that up there again, Hawkeye. I want to make it big so everybody can see it. That is freaking fire. I have mine right here.
I don't have mine on me. Mine is at home in my drawer.
I can't see it. Damn. Too much light.
But
mine's is right there. It's on there.
Give me just a few more months.
I have black now. I have black now. So if you guys want black, I can do one in black.
Yeah. Give me a few more months and I'll have a shirt I want to put that on. I don't want to put it on something now though.
Yeah.
Nah.
I'm working on some big ones to go on the back of a shirt, and but I'm still working on those. I haven't got them tweaked out yet. Nice. But I'm learning on this stencil machine.
What did we talk about the other day?
Well, here's the deal I want to put forth for everybody out there. If you guys will donate $5 to RAM to help run this new site, new forum, I'll send you one with your name on it. Just give RAM your $5 and let him know what name you want on it, and I'll print you one out and I'll mail it to you. And I'll be willing to donate postage up to say 30 people. And then after that, if more than that want some, we can work something out after that. Like I said, after you get the front pocket one, I'll have some big ones to go on the back, and we can work stuff out for that. So,
I haven't decided if I want to put mine on a hoodie yet, or if I want to put it on a T-shirt,
or both. Let me know. I can get you some more.
Guys, I'm telling you, this is your best way to get these, because what's going to happen? We're going to put these on T-shirts and sweatshirts and hats, but they aren't going to be $5. That's
right. This is an entry level thing to get in at the start of all this.
That's right, because I have a Teespring account now, and I've already started putting Builders Tribe shirts up there. Next week, I'll be able to let you guys know all the links. We'll post it up next week on next week's show. And they're going to be going for T-shirts at like $25-$30.
Hell yeah.
Which is not bad for a T-shirt. Hoodies are going to be around $40 to $50. But if you can get this now, for $5, because it's going directly back to you. Because, like we said before, that this is this ain't free, guys. It's kind of expensive to run this, run the forum, run this live stream. And again, if nobody donates, it's okay. We're not going anywhere. Okay. But it just helps a little bit if, $5 here, $5 there, man, guys. It just helps making sure we get things going and keep things running. So we're not going to keep talking about this. I don't even like mentioning it, but I mean, if you can get this awesome, this awesome logo, man, I'm flabbergasted when he showed it to me, and he showed me what he's doing with it, because the T-shirts are just part of it.
By the way, y'all, I had no clue I was getting this, right? So I checked the mail the other day, as I do every day. I was like, envelope from Hawkeye. What's this? And then I popped it open. I was outside. I was like, oh, that's so cool. And I shoved it in my pocket real quick. And I went upstairs, and I was just like, what shirt do I want to put this on? And then I was like, oh, fuck, I'm throwing away half of my shirts right now. I'm just like, I'll just fucking wait. Wait till I find a good one.
I'm going out together shirt this weekend.
I've been practicing all my old T-shirts, trying to figure out how to get all this down pat, because I've never made T-shirts, iron-on.
I did screen printing when I was younger, but your typical, color ink screen printing, not any of the digital stuff. Now I had to do everything by hand cutting and all that stuff. So, but no, none of the iron-on stuff though. Never done that.
Yeah, I did find out the trick to doing the iron-on is you press your iron. Don't iron it. Press it. Hold it down for 30 seconds or so. Lift it up. Turn your iron. Press again. Hold it. Yep. Press again. And then
when you do these, usually when you do your these logos, did you put like a wet paper towel in between the plastic and the iron?
No, I just use the iron
right onto the plastic. Okay,
I put a piece of cardboard down on the table and then put my T-shirt on, and then I just, because supposedly that clear plastic top of the stencil that holds it all together, that can take all that heat, and then somehow that transfer melts it into your fabric, and then you need to let it cool and actually flip it back almost 90 degrees and roll it back real slow and make sure it sticks. If it don't stick, hit it with an iron again.
Nice.
Anyway, that's
I just wanted to make sure, because I saw your directions and I saw, iron through the plastic, and I was like, man, I better ask him, dude, because It'll
Yeah,
be just
you
my
actually
luck. I'd have
do.
a plastic melted on a T-shirt.
Yeah, I was worried about that too.
Yeah. Well, that's what holds
I was
all
like,
the little letters and everything in place, so they get where
hey,
you want to line them up.
as long as it can withstand the heat, I'm with it. Because
Right.
I was worried about that too. I was like, am I going to lift this up and it's
just
be
a
melted?
plastic blob on here. Check out the new shirt. Plastic blob on his chest.
Yeah.
That's why I practiced on some old shirts to make sure I knew what I was doing.
All right, listen, we got one piece of business that we have to handle from last show, and then I'm going to give the floor to Hawkeye. And I promised I would show this, but it's going to take me a second. But what I do want to say while I'm doing this, guys, if you haven't noticed, and you may not have noticed because not too many people went in to the site today after I did it, we now have the Tribal Tools Gallery. Meaning we have a gallery to now post your pics of all your tools that you've built. It is in the gallery. It is in the forum. We have folders such as custom pistol, custom rifle, custom shotgun rifle, pistols, Gucci pistols, plain Jane pistols. There's a bunch of different places for you to post what you have.
Main page there, the shotguns, y'all. Main page.
Yeah, so go in there, post your pictures. And are we still live? I see
you.
Yeah.
Okay, because the chat hasn't moved for me in a minute, so I was just making sure we were still on. I guess everybody's sitting back just listening tonight, which is fine. So I wanted to be able to get this up here because Mr. Monty, when we were on the last show, Hawkeye, did you load up your slides yet?
Yeah, they should be there.
Load them up again, sir. I think
right.
you loaded them up while you were in the other back office.
Monty reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not in here tonight.
He is not here, but we are going to shoot. What did I? Now I'm trying to remember where the heck. Oh, I know where. It's been 2 weeks and I've lost my mind, dude. I'm trying to figure out where the heck I have stuff posted. I'm like, I don't know where it is, but there it is. Where?
Yeah, I shot him a message.
Wait, that should be there.
I was just telling M. Adams, it's funny you asked. I was just telling Ram earlier, I have seen I can't say I've seen a good 76 done yet. I'll just put it that way.
Oh man, yeah.
I'm just seeing a ton of mangled trigger pockets. That's all I've been seeing.
It's not going to be a simple job.
It's not rocket science, though.
Oh,
people are making it harder than it is.
Dude, it's not simple.
No.
That the where the trigger housing goes, not simple. If you do not have the right tools, you're going to be buying another frame because it's now I believe I have the right tools. Of course, I have a lot of tools. I've bought a lot. But if you're trying to wing this,
Nolan said it is not a cakewalk.
No.
I will tell you, I've seen a lot of people saying, I'm just going to go to GST9s until they figure this crap out, because a lot of people are not happy with the new 76%. A lot of people not happy.
Yeah, Yep, Monty's here. He was running late. But yeah, let's talk about the 76.
Did you see his reason? Did you see his reason?
What? It's spending on. Wait, cut it out. Spending all money on gun parts. Yeah. I've been doing the same thing the last 2 days, Monty. But Let's see, Monty. Here we
Yeah,
go.
I just shoot you a message because Ram had mentioned you a second ago there, brother.
Yeah, this is Monty's peanut butter build. Monty, you did this. You right dyed this, right? I think he was saying he did a right dye on this on a FDE frame. I believe so. Okay, while we waiting for his answer on that, the next picture we didn't get to take a look at was the SCT build. Yeah, G23 SCT build. And yeah, he said he did right down chocolate brown. And this is the SCT build. This is hot, man. I like that in Force light. I think that's going on my next build. Is that the light we're putting on the next build?
Yeah, it's the
Weapon
Wild 2, I believe.
Is that the Wild 2, Mr. Monty? I think that's going on the next build. It's a little
because you were going to do the Wild 1 originally, but the Wild 2 is a little shorter.
Yeah. Yep.
You didn't want it sticking out too much. A little bit.
That's hot right there, man. That's a nice little build right there, man.
I dig it.
That is very cool. So let's see, what did Nolan? That's just about what I've come to. V1 GSTs are on sale still. I think I'd break my back over a subcompact, but my next platform won't be P80. Yeah, man. I got a GST 9 here. Monty says yes, Wild 2.
Yeah, I'm glad I stocked up on P80s before they changed all this crap.
Matt, some said the Magwell for the Strike 80. See,
yeah,
he just said he used the Strike 80 Magwell.
There was about to be a major echo going on in this chat.
Yeah,
I was just going to say the same thing. I also know that I'm trying to remember the company that makes it. Arcane Tactical, the company with the wings.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah.
They make a magwell that also fits the strike frames, and so does the one that Steel City Arsenal makes. Also fits strike frames.
Okay.
And there's another one too that just came out recently. If I remember it, I'll say it next show. If it comes to me, or if I spot it in my.
All right. So before we're about to give Hawkeye the floor, but guys, if you don't know, that's the link. If you look at your screen, that's the link for the Builders Tribe Gallery. Or you can go if you're using what's that? Spaces. It's up there under shared gallery. I don't know why it's named something different over there, but it's up there as well. Post your pitch. Let's get it going. Let's get it cracking. So looks like Mr. Hawkeye has his slide deck up. So we are going to give him the floor. And Mr. Hawkeye, whenever you're ready, did you need me to pull it up on the screen for you?
Yeah, you better be the one pushing buttons.
No, you're going to push the buttons. I'm going to pull it up on the screen for you, though.
Oh, okay. All right.
All you got to do is push the button. So, Mr. Hawkeye, you have the floor, fine, sir.
Okay. Well, this is the second part. And what I want to do is just go over real quick a few things. You need to have something to test on. This isn't Palmer. I've never tested on a Palmer, but this is just a plastic lid I use to try and get my pattern. You want to kind of get an idea of what your pattern's going to do. You want to be able to do a little bit of your pattern and take measurements on it. And that way you can know if you can fit that pattern on your gun, what it's going to look like. Because, you know, if you're doing like a PF 9SS, a little 43, some of those patterns are actually too big to go on that type grip. So you want to plan this out by being able to get an idea of what it's going to look like. And then this is something I just did on the last Lone Wolf builds, and where you put your index rest finger and anywhere else, like in your trigger guard or something. When you do your regular grip, you want to be able to cut your borders in and get an idea of what it's going to be like, then cover it up and do all your paint and stipple at the end. That's my process. But I found that doing these little areas like this, if you cut your borders it's hard to get tape to stick on that, to mask it off. So when you paint, and it'll just blow off or it'll get paint under it, and you have a lot of paint to clean up. So on this build, what I did is I just put my tape on there. Now what that did is that gave me an outline to go by, and then I used a couple of burrs, one's a diamond and one's a regular carbide burr, and just start my borders after it's already made. And what you get is like this right here. So you can go around, you got a border started, and then when you get ready to start, you just kind of do your random stuff and it'll fill in. And it's a whole lot easier than having to go and clean out all that paint and stuff that gets in your borders. It just makes it easier. I found that out after this build, and I've already done I don't know how many, and it was always a pain in the butt. So this is what I'll be doing from now on. Now, another thing I wanted to show you is the picture on the left. That is a lone wolf. And what I did on that, and I'm trying to take that border down, and I'm putting an angle on it. I can do that because the lone wolves have a lot of plastic, and you can kind of carve it out and make it fit. But if you notice, where it came down, I took my hot iron and I just started dragging that plastic out so that level is not high, it's low. And that way I can blend it all in when I do my stippling. And if you look at the left, that's a magwell that's going on this build.
I was about to ask, what magwell is that?
It's one of those cheap ones I got off of eBay that I had to, rework to make it fit.
Okay.
And it's aluminum, and I'm going to try and high polish it. But anyway, they got that set screw in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hacked all that into the screw off, hollowed out my plastic enough so it had a taper in it, so it's kind of sets in there. And then I just melted plastic in. And what that plastic does is it's the same color as the pistol. So when you go do your stippling, you'll never know there's a screw under that. It's the magwell is molded in. The screw is recessed and covered over with plastic, and it all looks like one piece, and that's the way it was made.
Well, what's that? What's the holes on the left and right on the picture that's on the right? Is it like a channel going through there?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was come from Canada or something, and they put a rope in there and tie it to your waist or something so you don't drop your pistol. I have no friggin' idea what that's there. Maybe you can
have you ever gone jump roping while you were carrying and couldn't figure out where to put your pistol?
No.
There you go.
That's your answer.
But sometimes if you're on a horse, they might fall out. But
let me ask you, do you find it easier to stipple once your magwell is on there, or stipple first and then put the fit the magwell? Because
I want everything done. I want it painted. I want my magwell molded in and trimmed up around the edges so I can stipple right down to it. The paint's right on it.
And that's the problem I had with Liberator, because Liberator was already stippled when I went to put the magwell on there. Yeah. And in my opinion, it doesn't look good with the way I did it. And I might redo it at some point. Right now, it's done for now. But if I decide to redo it and
that makes it harder
down there.
In the long run, that makes it harder for you to accomplish what your vision is because it's cut up too much. The real art is in that grip.
Can you go back to the last photos that Hawkeye had up on the screen there?
Hawkeye has control. He can do it.
Go back to your practice box.
Yeah,
he the man.
Let's pop that up. Make that big on the screen there. So I do the same thing Hawkeye does. I've also seen a lot of people lately, especially on Reddit, posting photos of their practice stippling. A lot of them using similar boxes. They work great, by the way. Yeah, not knocking that at all. It's the same thing that I use. But what I will say is I know that Hawkeye's done it because I've seen some of his practice stuff. Make sure that you guys aren't just practicing the pattern. but also make sure that you're practicing border work as well. Even if it's
Yeah.
just doing a square, even if you're just taking, I like to use painter's tape. Even if you're just taking some painter's tape and laying out a square with the painter's tape and then carving your border in there and then stippling into it, that also helps you learn the speed and precision and which way to pull and draw as you're carving in your borders once you get to your actual frame. I see a lot of people talk about practicing their borders and stuff on a chopped frame because they want to make sure they get their border down right. If you practice a border, 3 or 4 times, getting a nice HD recessed border, or even just doing a standard, recessed pattern with the border, you'll get a lot further if you practice doing just a square shaped border, nice and carved deep before going to your actual frame. It'll help you get your lines. It'll help you get the pressure right, all that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, guy. Go ahead, bud.
All right, we went to that one. And you can see here where I put that emblem, that hawk or that wolf emblem, I covered that up with plastic and I drew this back so that's ready to start. If you notice, it's recessed now, all the way down through. All I got to do is clean that line up. And now we're talking about borders. That one on the left, on the bottom there, you can see that border actually sucks big time. And the reason that border is off is because instead of taking a small fine point iron tip and just continually going around without stopping, I did a little and I did a little and I did a little, and that's what makes all them little bubbles down through there, and that's what you don't want. You want to get a nice smooth run, and the way to do that is not use a big round end. I'll show you here in a minute. Well, I'll show you now. See these tips there on the right? The ones you want to try and do a border on this particular type stippling job is either that one all the way over on the right or the one next to it. Notice how they got a finer point on the end? What that does is that keeps a smooth line, but not a line that bubbles up higher than where you're.
Yeah, see, I'd usually use the one on the left.
Okay, the one on the left is the one I used when I did that one, and see what it does is it pushes more plastic up, and it makes that border actually higher than the surface of the painted part of the gun, and you don't want that. You want it to be all recessed to that same level. That way you're not hanging your hand on it or rubbing it on a holster, or anyway, that would be the way I believe it should be done. If you look at the finger index there on the left and the one on the right, those turned out pretty good. The borders still are iffy because I don't know, I haven't got that smooth stroke down. But if you look at the pattern, that pattern is the easiest pattern you can do. It's just do a little here, move over, do a little there, take a spot. Now on this small area like that, I would take a spot about 1/4 inch wide, and I would start coming out about to the center, and I'd stop. And then I'd start somewhere else, and then I'd come out to the center, and I'd stop. And I just keep doing that all the way around.
Just the squiggly line one.
Yeah,
right?
Just squiggler here, squiggly there. And you can't get any easier than that. And the tip that Ram was talking about is the tip I used on both of these. And you can see the pattern you get. It looks a lot like those stick-on rubber grip pattern on those things.
It's very
That's the
similar
kind of
to
pattern
it.
that looks like.
Absolutely.
And those were the tips. Now, this, to me, is the best stippling job I have ever done. If you notice the borders, how smooth they are, they're not sticking up or anything. That was done with that smaller tip on a stroke motion that just continues from one end to the other, and then I just started. Now this pattern's a little different. On that other pattern, like I said, you squiggly line. This one was I would come out and push up, pull out, push up, pull up, push up, and it makes more of a sandpaper look. If you can see the difference, it's a finer type pattern, and it's real easy. It's the same thing, and once you start in one place and go to another place, and then it all starts coming together. It's I don't know. I think that's some of my best stipple work right there.
Looks good to me.
Now, if you look at these, the one on the left, that was done with that big, or it's not big, but that tip Ram was talking about, and it's the same thing. You push it and push it, and if you look at the borders on this one, they're not very good either. But the rest of the stippling is not bad. I mean, it's it's what it is. It's not a bad bill. Now, the Hawk on the left, that was, I don't know. I just lucked out. What can I say? That pattern, what I was trying to do was make that pattern look like feathers coming off that Hawk. And so what I did was I just took that small tip, and I would start a line, a squiggle line, but it was a long line. And then I do one next to it, and then I do one next to it, and then I might cross it, and then I might do another one, and that's how I ended up with that. And that was
said
super
it before. I'll say it again. Out of all the builds that you've done, the Hawk is my favorite.
Yeah, I'm kind of favored that one too.
It's my favorite.
And that's actually a remake, a makeover. That was something else when it was first built.
We always talk about the flow, the visual flow.
Yeah.
And that the Hawkeye one's just got the coolest flow.
The paint on that one is awesome.
Killer, dude. It's killer.
Four layers of different colors and then brushed. I don't know. It just turned out, man. You know how they
looks like
you
were working on the set of a Star Wars movie or something with that paint job, bro.
Yeah,
it's pretty dope, man.
And now the dragon one. That's another one. Now that border's not too bad.
I like that border. That border's tight,
nice, man.
Clean.
Yeah, it's
That's
nice
cool.
and tight. It's not sticking up, and the stippling is pretty good too. It's that same tip. It's the easiest way for beginners to start with, because it just is, because it's so random. You don't have to follow any kind of pattern. You just have to bring it all together and
just drag. Yeah.
But now,
That's similar to my Freddy Krueger pattern.
Yeah,
it's just the Freddy Krueger one is just a little more jagged to make it look like his burnt face. Yeah, it's a little deeper, and but yeah, those borders are tight, man. And that dragon you did with the JB Weld.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, I like doing stuff like that with JB Weld. It is super easy to carve. Once you get a glob of it on there, put your stencil on it so you know where your lines are, and just start removing it up to your lines. You know, get it sanded down to the level or close to the level you want. Come in and get to the design you want, and then you can sand it back down. You know, you always want to leave stock in case something happens. You have stock to work little oopses out.
Mm-hmm.
But that is so good, and you don't have to worry about busting through your grip on these P80s. They are super thin. Once you remove all the stippling on a P80, the factory stippling, the plastic's pretty thin.
Yeah, don't I know it?
So that's why I do that, because all I'm doing is building JB Weld back to the same height of the original factory stippling, so that I'm not building any more thickness to it. I don't know. It's so much easier to work when you want to do artistic stuff into a grip.
Mm-hmm.
Now that young wolf build there on the right, I tried to do some HD borders, and they're not bad. They're not a bad border, but I didn't highlight them with paint because there's so much going on with this build. It would just be one more thing that would pull your eye away from everything. And that's what you need to think about. When you're going to do emblems or engravings or whatever in your grips and then stipple around them, that's your artwork. That's what your eye wants to see. You don't want to do any kind of fancy stippling when you do something like that because it gets so busy you don't know what to look at. So that's why these builds all have just that basic stippling, just random pattern. There's nothing there to take your eye away from the artwork on your grip that you want people to look at. So that's how I did that. Now that lone wolf, there's two styles of stippling there, and what I thought I could do on that was go ahead and paint that wolf and the stippling with that wolf black, and then I went over it with first I painted it gold, and then I painted it black, and then I was going to brush it and make that gold stick out. It didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
So what I ended up doing,
plans of men and mice, dude.
Yeah, well, that's why you learn. That's why I mess up so I can tell you what not to do. That's the whole point. So what I did was I went ahead and painted the head gold, and then I took one of those cotton bobs and I rolled it in my paint, and I rolled it on that top of that diamond type armor on that wolf head.
Just to make sure get it down into the recess area.
Yeah, and it stayed out of the body. I don't know. It worked. That's the look I was trying to go for, but I had to back up and do something else. But that's why I'm letting you guys know. So if you ever want to do something like that, you can do paint like a roller instead of having to spray it all the time. Is the point. And this is all like I said before. I use KG gun coat. And it's all gun coat paint cured in the oven and hard, so I don't have to worry about it rubbing off or nothing. If you use stuff like that car model paint or those paint pens or something, they're good to look at, but as soon as you start using it, they wear right off.
It's coming off.
Yeah,
it's coming off.
They're going to stay.
Yeah. I'll also answer the question: borders HD or not? If you're doing a PF 940C or a V2 or a PF 45 or a Lone Wolf or a GST9, I say go for it. If you're doing like an SC or an SS80, as somebody who started doing HD borders on my last project on a SC, don't bother. It's such a small area that you're doing your HD border on. It's going to look weird. Plus, you're then missing, if you're doing a smaller pattern, which you're typically going to want to do something smaller on an SC. You don't want the big chunky pattern on an SC. If you're doing a smaller pattern, you're not going to be able to fit as many rows of your pattern in now that you have an HD border. So keep that in mind. Yeah. I typically go like just a recessed border on a SC, save the HD borders for larger frames.
Yeah. Another thing about the HD borders, if you look at Shogun Customs, the work that Will does, it's just absolutely above anything I could ever dream of.
Stellar.
When he does an HD border, that is the highlight of that gun. You may have some fancy stippling in there or not, but that's what pops. So that was another reason why the one with the wolf, I didn't want to paint that. It's to me.
Yeah, if you would have done that gold, it would have detracted away from the gold highlights on the rest of it.
Yeah. So another thing I wanted to tell you, if you mess up, you can do it over. This pistol right here, I did 3 times, and I'll probably do it again because I am not happy with the way this turned out.
I love the scale pattern you did on there.
I know, I made that tip too.
Super, I love that, dude.
What I was going for is if you watch Game of Thrones and you look at those old armor they have, it's like they cut little round things and
The
stick
chain
on
mail?
there so it looks like scales.
The scale mail
Yeah,
or dragon mail.
yeah, that's what I was going for, and it's close. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to redo that eventually. I just am. Okay, let's talk about some good stuff here. This is a frame I
That's
won
sharp.
at Marine Gun Builder site just before it went down. That's Glen Hill stuff.
Yep.
Notice the pattern. That's the thing. You can go vertical, you can go horizontal, you can go diagonal. It all matches up. That is what you want to try to do. And that is the hardest thing that I'm having to figure out right now. It's just super nice. Another thing, Another thing I found out, I've been really studying a bunch of wheel custom stuff, Shogun customs. And when you're doing a pattern like this and you start in the middle somewhere, you need to draw a line here or an X or something and work off the center and work your way out. Well, when you start doing that and you start coming to the edge, you'll notice how you don't have enough room for all your pattern
right, for a full
extend.
pattern.
So what it looks like, I'm not sure, but it looks like what Will does is when he comes to that edge and he's not going to have room, he won't do that last one. He'll go up to the edge and make that burn and then come back and do that burn. That way it looks like it's overlapping a burn that kind of goes away in the border, if you follow what I'm trying to say. And that keeps the pattern going the same way instead of trying to force something in that's not going to fit. But that's what I try for, and I haven't done it yet, but I'm trying. Now, I want to talk to you about an easy way to do this. If you notice, I got the Deadpool symbol in there. It's kind of like a circle. That's my line. That gives me something to go by so I can start my pattern. Like I said, you got to have a line somewhere, usually in the center, to start a pattern. Well, this time I have an outline. So the outline is what I start with under that circle, and I just keep working it. And then when I come to the front and the back, it kind of blends together. It makes it super easy to follow your pattern when you do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the same thing. I had the flags that come down in the grip. So I had lines. I had lines coming up the back. I got lines going across where the flag is. And that's the pattern. All you got to do is follow it around, and your pattern will just come together on that one.
I will say that is my favorite right there.
It's a nice one. The burns on that stippling is a little bit too deep. I had a little bit too much pressure on that. But all in all, it turned out good. If you look there on the left, I brought JB Weld down to make that V, and that covers up that screw that's recessed, that's holding that grip on. That mag well I had to completely mold in. It didn't fit. It's for a Glock and not for a P45. So the whole back end of it was gone. It was too short. And I just made my own back and then brought it all together with that V and used the set script. It turned out really well.
Looks good to me.
Now this sucks. I'm just going to tell you it sucks. Look at the pattern. It doesn't go straight. The lines start dropping as it gets towards the front of the grip. It's like they're crammed up there around the center where the mag release is. The borders are so-so. And where I transitioned from the back to the gun to the front of the gun,
you can see the line.
I tried to make a seam down in there that'll bring them together. It didn't work out as well as I liked.
I ended up breaking them up instead.
Yeah, and I don't know. I did that one twice too.
I'll say, dude, I think the sides look fine. If I were to do anything, I would say just continue that pattern that you got on the sides to the back, and that'll help blend in and get rid of that line.
Yeah. Well, look at this one. This side's not bad except for the borders. The pattern's not too far off. There's a little off, about a third of the way up, maybe. But all in all, it's not too bad. And as it goes around, it blends in good. But then on this other side, see where it says bad? See how tight that got right there?
Yeah.
That really threw the whole thing off. That's why I'll probably end up doing that over again. I really want to get that dragon pattern down, and this isn't what I had in mind. But that's why I'm a beginner, and I'm learning, and I'm trying to get you guys to come along, to help you out, get you a little further along than I got, because I've been doing this for, I don't know, the stippling part for a little over a year now. If you count the first one I screwed up, it's been about 2.5 years ago.
Hey,
after I destroyed my first one, I sat back for a year and I didn't try to stipple anymore.
I couldn't remember until just now what Hawkeye did to that lone wolf frame to what it reminds me of now. Kind of reminds me of an Icarus Precision.
Mm-hmm.
Like a modified Icarus Precision.
Yeah.
I hate the looks
of
the
the different angles. It looks amazing now. You completely made
There's
it
enough
so that
plastic
it didn't look
you can carve them up like you won't believe. And I'll tell you, if you look at that picture on the right, up there, I took that little circle thing they got on there, and I continued it all the way down in the grip that lets your index finger just fall right in there.
Made a scallop into it.
Yeah, what you did to that build completely changed the ergonomics to the point where unless you told somebody that used to be a lone wolf, they wouldn't know.
I don't think you could tell it's a lone wolf.
No, you couldn't tell unless somebody's told you that was a freedom wolf or a lone wolf before.
The only thing that gives it away is the other side. This other side, it's got the little round thing on it.
Still doesn't really give it away just because of the other side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very
triggers,
custom fit.
The trigger's totally changed. The trigger guard, I like this.
It's unrecognizable.
I hate the wolf. But, okay, what I wanted to tell you, once you get a stipple that you like, you gotta take care of it. I like the plastic of the gun color, whatever polymer color you have. I like that to be the stippling. So when you're planning a build, you want to plan that color around everything else.
You mean you don't like it when your stipple area looks all ashy when you're all done?
No, and I'm not big. I'm not big on painting it either because
you don't like it when your stipple makes it look like it's got fucking dandruff.
Yeah. No. So this is what I do. You want to get rid of that dandruff look. Take some black polish restore, and I'll take that brush like I'm showing there on the left, and I'll load that up with it, and I'll just put it all over, and I'll use that brush to work it in so you can work it into all the stipple that you're doing. And then I'll take and I'll polish it off with one of these 3M polish brushes, and it'll bring all that black back to the pistol. If you don't want the shine that you'll get from that black, because it'll kind of shine at first, but the more it dries into the polymer, it'll start going more to a flat color. Mm-hmm. Don't use that. You just use the 3M brush and just brush it, and it'll stay a flat look. But if you need to bring that color back, that's the way to do it, is use that restore stuff. But that's what I do.
I use Pledge and an old toothbrush.
Yeah, anything like that. Anything that'll see what happens. What happens is plastic has oil in it, and when you work the plastic, polymer or any kind of plastic, when you start working that with sandpaper and stuff, that oil is coming out, and it leaves like little. If you was to blow it up and look at it, it would look like a bunch of little pit hairs balls in it. I mean, you got to really blow it up high to look at it. That's what gives it that dull white sandy look. Well, that's because it's got no oils left in it, and it's not polished. That's why you need to polish it to get all that smoothed out. Put that oil back into the plastic.
Brings it back up to the surface too.
Exactly. And if it ever starts getting dull again, just add some more polish to it. But I've never had to add any more polish. They seem to hold pretty good. And if you got any black plastic parts on your truck, that's the thing to use right there. Keeps it black forever.
Or if you can find any of those Cerakote wipes, those work really well too.
I don't know. I haven't tried any of those. Okay. I might need to try some.
Yeah, that's theirs.
But this is what I wanted to show you about. This gun was one of my first ones. I built it, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, and I finished it. But my stippling sucked so bad I didn't stipple. This is those stick-on rubber grips. I would buy them in sheets, and I would cut out what I needed. I would make me a template, and then I'd put it on there, and I'd cut it out, and then I'd put it on my gun. And then I would always make my template a little bigger so I could cut around the edges so it fits real good, and it just recessed in there like your stipple will look like.
Looks good.
Yeah. And then when I learned to stipple, this is what I ended up with. I came back and I stippled that at a later time, and you know, that's why I keep telling you that, telling you guys that those stick-on things have a purpose. They're not just crap. They're a tool to a means until you get ready to stipple, and because you know you want to practice. I mean, you build your build. You got to take all that factory stippling off and get down to a smooth surface and stuff. And you're not quite ready to stipple, and you want to go shoot your gun. Just put those stickers on there and go shoot it until you get ready, and then go ahead and fix it up however you want. And that's pretty much it. I think that's the last slide.
Awesome.
I'm gonna have to cut and run, y'all. We're a little bit past time. I'm gonna have to cut and run here.
We're gonna be shutting down in a minute, but
my clients are on their way back home, so I'm gonna get off the computer and start packing up here.
All right, fine, sir. Well, you have a good one, and we'll see you next week, and holler at you tomorrow. But
you too, brothers.
Hawkeye, Mr. Hawkeye, dude, another excellent example of
next month we'll start into the fun stuff. We'll start in with doing frame mods. That's what I really enjoy, is hacking the heck out of these frames to make them look like something they don't.
Okay.
We'll start doing some of that.
Sounds good. In case y'all don't know,
we'll start off with the trigger stuff, the trigger guards, and all the stuff you can do to a trigger guard. And
so which day you want to do? You want to do the 15th or the 22nd next month? Because the third, switch that. 14th or the 21st. Which one you want to do?
Whichever one you need me at.
All right. So the third Tuesday is the 21st. So let's do the 21st. Mr. Hawkeye will be back to do his next Hawkeye custom corner. And we're going to be doing frame mods, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'll have next week, guys. We're going to have next week. I'll have a detailed rundown of the new P80 76% frame. I had some pictures and everything I wanted to share tonight, but you know what? I didn't want to delay Mr. Hawkeye any more time. But next week, it just feels a little different to me, guys. Just on first, I just picked it. I just got it today in the mail, and it feels a little different. It feels different than I put them side by side. They look the same, but I think there's a little difference in the what do you call it? The trigger guard. Because that Glock knuckle is a little different on the new one, but everything else looks the same. It looks the same, but you know, it is what it is. But Also next week we will have, what are we doing next week, man? I had it and I didn't write it down.
You know, that new 76 P80, you got to drill that front locking block hole too.
Yeah, none of the holes are drilled in it. Just in case y'all didn't know, there are no holes on this thing.
If you saved your old build, your old jig, remember how we made the how to save your jig and put the little guides on top?
Mm-hmm.
Take a pistol that's already been drilled, put it in there, run your drill up through there, and let it, take it by hand so you're not wallering out your gun, and bring you a hole up. And then once you get that hole up, take one of those guides and glue it back down like you did the rest of them. And then you got a guide for drilling that front hole. It's that easy.
Okay, you just lost me.
Well, it's the same process, but backwards for the front. I don't know. I might need to do a write up on that.
Yeah, do a write up on that, because we got the blog and in the new forum, and Hawkeye has full control of the blog. So whenever he wants to write something up, whether it's going to be in resources or in the blog area, just pay attention, guys. It's going to be a lot of new things coming. We can now do videos on the new forum. We're actually, next week, I'm going to try streaming to the forum. So you'll be able to watch here on the Builders Tribe channel, and you'll also be able to watch, hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully Nas can help me get it up and running, streaming directly to the Builders Tribe forum or the Builders Tribe website. So we're going to do that. The merch is coming. Merch, not only Hawkeye's thing. Again, if you want to donate $5 to the operation of this, Hawkeye will send you
and let me know if you want a white one or a black.
White or black. If you're watching this on replay, just post up a message. I want one. And as you can see, you can send your donations, and 100% of the donations go back to the operation of this channel and the forum, guys. Nobody's making any money on this. This is not the point of this, but it does cost money to run these things. But every little bit helps. And I want to thank all of you who have already donated. We definitely appreciate you. We thank you because without your donations, the forum would probably be stalled as far as getting up and running. So we definitely appreciate the donations that came from you. So with that being said, wait a minute. Let's see. We got a question.
Yeah, that would work good. That's what I use. I got a miniature tap handle, or I use a little hand vise, that'll hold a 3mm bit. I would say you need to, if you're going to do the process like I just say, going through a hole through your pistol that's already there, you need to use an undersized bit.
So what do you do? And then I'm just thinking about what you guys are saying. If I put half the jig on the frame,
take a frame,
run through the hole.
Yeah, take a frame and put it in your jig like you would.
Just half of it.
Yeah, just half of it, because you're going to go through your frame, that front hole, and use an undersized drill, because you don't want to open that hole up. Right. You just want to locate that hole. Now, right. You could either do it by using an undersized bit on a hand press, or a drill, whatever vise you want to use, and you could drill it that way real slow. Or you could, if you have a punch, one of those what do they call a tracer punch? Anyway, it's a punch. It's got a little point on the end. You get the right size, you stick it in there, and that'll give you a hole. You can take your frame out, and then you can start your hole that way.
I was wondering, I'm like, okay, how am I going to, because I bought my 76% frame from, shoot, why am I drawing a blank? I forget who I bought it from. But anyway,
that front locking block hole is no big deal. The problem with those are getting that trigger housing guard all cleaned
trigger
out.
Housing is going to be a beast.
It's got all kinds of crap in there.
It's got a bunch of madness. I took some pictures the best I could, and we are way over time, so I'll share them next week. But it's a lot. It's a lot. It's not for the faint of heart, but that's okay because we got in this to build, not to be. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole point. They were saying, oh, you can put them together in 30 minutes. You will destroy this thing if you try and do it in 30 minutes. Guarantee you. So good point. So I have a couple of extra jigs in there.
Yeah.
That's what I'll be doing tomorrow.
I'll try and get one done before next week. That way we can see if it works or not. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sounds good to me. I'm gonna be probably a majority of tomorrow sitting down with that frame and maybe working a few things out and seeing which tools are going to work best to get clearing out that magwell. That's going to be a beast. That's going to be interesting. I mean, the other part up front with the rear locking block legs, that's going to be simple. Got a diamond bird that'll take that right out. So anyway, guys, we are going to wrap it up. We are 17 minutes over time. We do appreciate you being here. We appreciate you hanging in. We appreciate all of the questions. We appreciate everything because Mr. Hawkeye, he brings his. Share this channel. Share the word around. Share the new forum around because a lot of people didn't make it over, and that's okay. They'll trickle in little by little, but we want to grow the new forum as big as we can as well. And definitely be on the lookout for everything that's coming up with all of these new laws and everything they got going on. So until next week, we love you. We'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.
See you later.